Martin, the Canadian, is behind the plate, and Jason Nix, the former Blue Jay, is making his second start at shortstop here tonight.
Even without Derek Jeter, a very good lineup for the Yankees, and that will be the lineup that Kyle Drabeck takes to the mound, and he will start for the 8th time. He has lost 4 consecutive games, but his ERA is still very good at 3.66. Won his first 2 games, then a no decision, and then 4 straight losses for Drabeck. The problem has been his walk count. He has averaged about 9 per inning. Excuse me, 6 per 9 innings in his last 4 starts. He needs to throw more strikes. In his career, 4 appearances, 2 starts versus the Yankees. He's looking for his first win against them.
Robbie Thompson, a Canadian third base coach, says hello to Brent Laurie, and you can bet Robbie gave him a little advice and a little support, so we're all set to play, and Drabeck will throw the first pitch to Curtis Granderson, and it's a strike. Ball and a strike. Granderson, 13 home runs on the season. It's unusual. He has 10 home runs at Yankee Stadium and 3 in Baltimore.
And that is it. It's also the first time that the Yankees have written his name in that leadoff spot. Derek Jeter had led off for 36 games. You get the night off, and they automatically have a power guy in that lineup in the first spot.
That ball was bounced well in front of home plate. Looked like it might have been a curveball he really got on top of. Here and see, he had that mask knocked right off his face. 2-2. That good running fastball up and away. Granderson strikes out.
That's going to have to be what he does tonight. He's got to use his fastball, that 2-seamer. He can elevate it like he did right there in the strike zone to pick up the strikeout as he gets Granderson for out number 1. At times it looked like Kyle Drabeck over his last 4 starts has tried to force the ball in there a little bit too much, and that's where he has come out of his windup. Again, averaging almost 6 walks per 9 innings over his last 4 starts. So far so good against Granderson.
Nick Swisher, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against Drabeck. Swisher batting .267. Been a very productive hitter for the Yankees. He has 26 RBIs.
That's the one thing about the Yankees. They are going to make Kyle Drabeck throw strikes here tonight. He has got to really fill up the strike zone with his fastball, challenge the Yankee hitters.
Kelly Johnson at second base, over to Encarnacion, and it's the second out of the inning.
They do such a good job of making you work, do the Yankee batters. Let's take a look at the scouting report. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. The fastball 65% of the time this year for Kyle Drabeck. It's a 2-seam fastball, something he picked up in spring training. He's been working on his changeup. He'll use that also. He'll cut the ball at times with his fastball just to show the opposition. Key for him is that curveball. If he can get that over with his 2-seam fastball, he'll have a fine night.
Drabeck is making his 4th career start against the Yankees. This is his 5th game. He appeared in relief last September after he was called up from AAA. Drabeck should have fond memories of facing this lineup. The last time he faced him in spring training, he may have won the job in the rotation. That was March 29th.
We certainly thought so. We were there. We were watching it in Tampa, and the guy that he's facing right now was not having any fun against Kyle Drabeck that night.
Drabeck really threw the ball well that night. He was up to 96, used his curveball very effectively.
I thought he caught a lot of the Yankees by surprise with the 2-seam fastball, something that he threw a lot of in spring training. And I don't know if they were ready for that.
Robinson's Cano has been a red hot hitter, .365 over his last 16 games. One thing I'd like to see from Drabeck tonight is the curveball a little earlier in this ballgame. He's got a great curveball, but it seems as though it kind of waits a little bit too long to bring it into the mix.
Got to put something extra in the batter's mind when they're at the plate. Can't keep throwing the same thing up there.
Robbie Cano will take the 2-out walk.
You know, you throw a curveball and you throw for a strike. That's number one. He's thrown a curveball already and he bounced it. But a curveball for a strike puts another pitch in their minds, and then you can start using your other stuff later in the ballgame.
Alex Rodriguez step into the box. We mentioned Rodriguez hitting .353 in the month of April. That's got his average up to .286. First pitch swinging. Brett Laurie goes to second for the force out, and Rodriguez is retired on one pitch. The Yankees are down in the first. Details just before they take their positions, and Butterfield has said time and time again, Torey Lovullo is the best first base coach he's ever worked with.
Yeah, very into the ball game.
Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. Johnson Thames moves into the 2 spot with Escobar getting the night off. Bautista, Encarnacion. Brett Laurie moves up to 5. Colby Rasmussen, then the catcher. J.P. Arencibia, over his last 9 games, he's hit over 300. Pair of doubles and a pair of home runs. He's driven in 6. Adam Lynn drops down to the 8th spot, DHing tonight. And Omar Vizquel starts at shortstop in place of Yunel Escobar.
That's the lineup that 37-year-old Hiroki Kuroda will be facing. He was signed to a free agent contract, a 1-year contract, this past January. Last year, 13-16, a losing record, but a very good earned run average last year of just over 3, and he's back at it again. Look at that record, 3-4 to 3.5 earned run average. He'll throw a lot of strikes, and he's really tough on right-handers. The lefties have had good times when they are facing Hiroki Kuroda. He'll sink the ball, he'll throw a lot of strikes, and he works very slowly.
And the first inning has been a real problem for Kuroda. 10 of the 20 runs he's allowed have come in the first inning, and 3 of the 5 home runs he's allowed also in the first inning. And you see the roof here at Rogers Center just closing. It was open for BP, but it's a cool night, just 14 degrees here in Toronto, and that was a good move. It was breezy and cool.
It's good for the announcers.
Real good for the announcers.
Papers blowing all over the place.
Kelly Johnson's familiar with Kuroda. Johnson faced him both while he was with the Braves and while he was with the Diamondbacks. Up and away.
He's got a good feel for pitching and how to attack hitters. Again, he's 37 years old. He's been around for a long time. He'll try and work the edges, move the ball around, try to find holes in your swing, and then go ahead and attack it.
Johnson gets jammed and lines out to the third baseman.
It's got a report for Hiroki Kuroda. You can see he sinks his fastball slider. It's a sinker slider and then the splitter That he's got a name for that also. He'll also four-seam you at times, and then the curveball. So a little bit of everything. He has had success. He has pitched 7 innings of 2 runs or less 3 times this season already, but really just doesn't have a whole lot to show for it record-wise.
Eric Thames moves into the 2 spot in the lineup tonight. Just the second time he's hit there this year. Up and away. I've watched Corotto pitch the last several games, and a lot of what he does, he works away. He wants to stay away. He doesn't have the power to really challenge you inside. Strikes out things, look like the splitter down in the dirt.
The shuto, the reverse slider, that's what he calls it from Japan. It right splits and it goes down and away to the right-handers. That's what I mean about he'll work the edges. If he doesn't have to throw the ball down the middle, if he can make you expand, he does a good job of that.
Jose Bautista. Again, he will predominantly throw pitches away, and you really have to make sure you stay on him. Bautista can pull him.
We have seen him time after time take that outside pitch and hook it. Jose Bautista. Nothing new. Pitchers have stayed away from him all year long.
The slider missed. 2 balls in his strike. Bautista has a home run against Corotto. He's 1 for 3.
Yankees now getting into the act also by throwing the 3-man shift on Jose Bautista. Look at that. Robbie Cano is second baseman on the shortstop side of second. And they still work him away also.
Curtis Granderson has moved over toward left center, the center fielder. And Ibanez is playing Bautista to pull as well. That's why Corotto doesn't come inside too often.
He'll probably come inside with that 2-seamer and speed your bat up and just get a loud strike like that. That's that one fastball that Bautista gets every at bat, right in on the hands.
3-2. Coming in there again. That looked like a little cutter. Just at 83 miles an hour.
Disrupt the timing a little bit of the hitter. Again, pitchers have gone soft away on Jose Bautista and then try to bust him inside, so he's got to be ready.
Another 3-2 pitch. Took something off of that. That's what you're going to get. Different speeds on his breaking ball, different speeds on his fastball. He goes back and forth very effectively.
And again, he's been around long enough. Originally signed with the Dodgers. His first year in American baseball was 2008. He's been around. He knows how to pitch, knows how to add and subtract to all of his pitches.
Right there. Cutter down and away and strikes out Bautista. Corotto strikes out 2 in his first inning of work here at Rogers Center. This is a well-located breaking ball. In April, he had a 2.40 ERA. He was among the league leaders in that department. His whip was very respectable. Opponents hitting just 217. But boy, Mays, a different story for Kyle Drabek.
Some adjustments being made, and I think a lot of it with Kyle Drabek walking too many people. And it started with his second last start in the month of April in Kansas City. Blue Jays won that game, and he had 6 walks in 5 1/3 innings. He followed up with 3, 2, 5, and 4 walk games.
Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Teixeira has become very used to the fact that he's going to look up and see 3 infielders, and I guess you could say 2 infielders and 2 right fielders on this defensive shift. Bouncing ball. Drabek comes off the mound, takes his time. That's the first out of the inning.
You know, the Blue Jays will do that, and they do it very successfully. Only the Tampa Bay Rays have shifted more in the American League, and they have saved more runs than anybody. The Tampa Bay Rays, 27 runs they have saved because they have shifted. Blue Jays have saved 18 runs by shifting, and that just goes to Brian Butterfield and the rest of the coaching staff doing their homework, figuring out where to play these teams.
Ibanez gets hit by the first pitch from Drabek, and he'll go to first base. He was hit by a pitch on Monday and got taken out of that ball game, and looks like he's got an elbow pad underneath his sweatshirt, and well, he's got it outside his sweatshirt actually, and that one just barely brushed his uniform, but he will be awarded first base.
He's been hot too. 4 home runs last week, so you got to pitch him inside.
Eric Chavez looks at a pitch in the dirt for a ball. Two and 0. Big thing for Kyle Drabek obviously is to pitch ahead, and he needs to hit that fastball in there and then expand with the breaking ball, and the changeup has been a good pitch for him as well.
At times he gets so frustrated with himself that he tries to overthrow, and he comes out of his delivery, and that's when the ball starts firing all over the place. Typical of a young player and a very competitive player that we see in Kyle. That's one of the things that Bruce Walton and his staff is trying to do, is just calm him down, and when things get a little bit rough, he's off the gas pedal just a little bit. I was talking with Mark Gubazov when we were out in Los Angeles playing the Angels, and he told me the older he got, the more he pitched. He said the best pitch he ever had was the BP fastball. If you have confidence in that, especially in these type of counts, these 3-1 counts, if you can just throw the BP fastball, throw the timing of the hitter off, it's a great pitch.
There goes the runner. Pitches inside. It's the ball to Chavez. First and second, 1 out. A hit batter and a 1-out walk.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
First of 2 against the New York Yankees. Blue Jays had a 2-game series against Tampa Bay. Now the Yankees are in for 2.
You know that thing about the BP fastball? You have to have confidence in it. You can't be afraid to throw it.
Takes a while for a pitcher to gain that confidence and understand that you don't need to throw everything max effort. Russell Martin, the catcher, goes after the first pitch. Bounce to third. Laurie steps on the bag across the diamond. And the throw was offline, and Encarnacion made a swipe at Russell Martin, but he was past the first baseman.
Could still get down that line. Maybe not like he could in his Dodger days, Russell Martin. He's going to beat this one out. Brett Lawrie goes over, catches, plants that right foot, and uses the bag to spring off of. But the throw sails on him, and Martin, anticipating and feeling that that ball is going to be inside, ducks out of the way of the tag from Encarnacion.
Chance to get out of the inning now. The number 9 hitter, former Blue Jay Jason Nix, will step in. First and second, 2 outs. Down and away. Drabek retired Mark Teixeira on an easy play right back to the mound, and then he hit Ibanez and walked Chavez before getting Russell Martin on a fielder's choice. Martin's at first. Right on the outside corner.
His stuff's pretty nasty. When he's got it around the strike zone, get the Yankee batters or any batters offering at it. This is his cut fastball that just explodes when it gets towards home plate.
Drabek's ahead 1-2. Another cutter down and away. Drabek picks up his second strikeout of the night. Strands a pair. Blue Jays will start off with the cleanup batter, Edwin Encarnacion. 12 homers so far. Brett Lawrie in the 5th spot, and Colby Rasmus. For a second consecutive game. In the first inning in last night's game, he leans into the seats to catch a pop-up off the bat of B.J. Upton. Then in the 3rd inning, off of David Price with a man on, he hits a 2-run home run, his 12th homer of the season. That came in the 3rd inning and gave the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead at the time.
Sensing that they would challenge him early in the count, it's the first fastball he sees from David Price. And I think this is a good idea what John Farrell's doing is he's letting Encarnacion place him first, clear the mind of Adam Lynn, let him go over there and DH, and just think about hitting, just to get him right. Remember the big season that Lynn had in 2009, he was a primary DH. So forget about the glove for a couple of days and just worry about hitting.
First pitch is outside. Lynn will bat in the 8th spot tonight as the DH. When Hiroki Kuroda first came up with the Dodgers, he was signed as a free agent, came over to the Dodgers in 2008. His catcher was Russell Martin. Martin caught his first big league game. Ground ball. Nix dives to his feet quickly. Not in time at first. Encarnacion with an infield single.
Third baseman, number 13, Brett Lawrie.
Blue Jay fans showing their support for Brett Lawrie. He's one of their own. They love the way he plays.
They've got his back. He was out running today before the game, about 10 minutes before the start of this game, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation down the left field line.
Brett Lawrie was playing ping pong with the fifth deck during batting practice this afternoon. He's starting to swing the bat much better over his last 12 games, hitting over 300.
Start driving the ball. He was really working on hitting the ball hard to center field. And he hit a number of balls out of the ballpark in straightaway center in BP today.
Well, I tell you what, we're seeing more and more exaggerated defensive alignments around the American League. Curtis Granderson is shading Brett Lawrie over in right center. They're pinching that gap in right center as Swisher is moved over toward center field as well.
Information, it's out there on this type of pitch, hard or soft, this place inside or outside. He hits the ball here, and that's why you see the infield going one way, playing at the pole, and the outfield going the other way, playing to hit the ball the other way.
With a little something off, and Brett Laurie's gotten a steady diet of off-speed pitches. The league recognized last year that he could handle a fastball, and now he's seeing an awful lot of sliders and change-ups and off-speed pitches.
Much more, 5% more this year of off-speed pitches that he saw last year.
Bounce to short. Nick shovels to second for one. Cano dropped the ball, but C.B. Buckner, the umpire, said he was in the act of taking the ball out of his glove. So Encarnacion is out on the force out. Lawrie is at first base.
Yeah, that's the right call. If you make an attempt to reach into the glove and make a throw and the ball drops, you're still going to be called out. Watch Cano, who's one of the best around second base. In the transfer, drops it. It's just like exchanging the runners right there on that play.
Wonder how much the timing is different. Derek Jeter has started all but 2 games at shortstop, and tonight it's Jason Nix. Nix starting for the second time at shortstop. That timing might have been an issue. Brett Lawrie with a big lead at first. Colby Rasmus goes after that pitch. Looked like another off-speed pitch. Kuroda will use his curveball to left-handed hitters on the first pitch. It's kind of a get-me-over curveball.
Something to watch against Thames. I believe he did it. Rasmus, Lind, a couple batters from now. Blue Jays can pick up on that and use that if they've got a fast runner at first base to try and steal.
Left-handed hitters have really been a problem for Kuroda. And Colby Erasmus has had his problems here at Rogers Center. Left-handers have hit .352 against Kuroda coming into this ball game, compared to an average of .162 for the right-handed hitters. In his last start, Dustin Ackley, a left-handed leadoff hitter, hit an opposite field home run at Yankee Stadium against Kuroda. Good blocked by Russell Martin. I asked Russell Martin how his Japanese was. He said it's not so good. These two have played together a long time, and I asked him about the communication with Kuroda. He said he understands all the baseball. You go out to the mound, you talk about you got to change things up, pitch him away, use the fastball inside. He says, but outside of that, it's all Japanese for Kuroda.
Half of his starts, or nearly half of his starts in the big leagues by Kuroda, has been caught by that guy right there. Russell Martin, you were talking about how when he first signed with the Dodgers, his catcher was Martin.
Rasmus fouls it off. Kuroda pitched for the Hiroshima Carp in the Japanese Professional League. And back on the 24th of April, he and Yu Darvish were the starting pitchers when the Rangers took on the Yankees down in Arlington. Just the 7th time in Major League history that two Japanese-born starters faced each other. And that was a big deal in Japan.
Yes. Big deal. I watched that game.
2-2. It was a big deal worldwide. The game was actually distributed to 36 different countries. Australia, Canada, of course, Japan, Latin America, South America, Mexico, Taiwan, Singapore, and a lot of baseball fans worldwide tuned in to watch the Kuroda-Darvish matchup. Two to Rasmus. There goes Laurie. Pitches down and Rasmus strikes out. Martin could only focus on catching the ball and keeping it in front of him, and Laurie gets a stolen base, his 6th.
You got to start the runner. Get something started. It's a breaking ball from Kuroda. Bounces on the plate, and you're right. There's nothing Martin can do. He was concentrating on just trying to catch that ball. Good time to run right there. Couple strikes.
J.P. Arencibia, the catcher, batting 7th tonight. Challenging for hitters to face a pitcher for the first time, especially when he throws such a wide variety of pitches.
He could have 6, 7, 8 types of pitches. But when you get a fastball like that, you can't let it go.
Yeah. A fastball down the middle is the same no matter who throws it.
Universal. It's universal. Let it go. A lot like you, Darvish. You were just talking about. Darvish supposedly has 8 different types of pitches, different speeds on breaking ball. But a fastball right down the middle is a fastball.
Hiroki Kuroda, over his first 3 starts, getting acclimated to the American League, and a 1-2 record, ERA at 5. They hit 300 against him, and then the last 4 has been a much better stretch for Kuroda.
He's won 2 games in his last 4 starts with just 2 runs of support average over those last 4. So he has pitched much better. He has beaten Seattle and Baltimore and lost to Texas and Kansas City over his last 4 games.
Tampa Bay hit him around in his first start. He had 8 hits, scored 6 runs in 5 2/3. That was his first start for the Yankees this season. See his numbers against American League teams. He's 6-12. Season high in runs allowed in his first game against Tampa Bay. Also against the Twins at Yankee Stadium, he gave up a 6th spot. Fastball pushed Arencibia back off the plate.
Up and in, high and tight. They will use that because the scouting report said J.P. Arencibia will swing it down. And now he's got a couple of options. He can go right back up there, Or he can drop that curveball on him.
Off the plate outside. Left-handed hitter on deck, Adam Lynn. I mentioned the lefties have been a problem for Hiroki Kuroda this year.
So you got to figure he's going to be challenging him here. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lefty on deck. You have first base open, but you got to figure he's going to go right after him.
There goes Laurie. Arancibia high and deep to left. Ibanez runs out of room. 2-run home run for Arancibia.
Got some confidence in that breaking ball, and he throws it 3-2. And it sped the bat up. Breaking ball, J.P. Arancibia head down. Hit the ball out in front, and it's a 2-run home run, his 4th of the season. That's how you hit a breaking ball. Stay on it.
Adam Lynn. That's the first pitch strike. Arancibia now has 18 RBIs for the season. We mentioned he has been swinging a much better bat of late and got off to a good start against Kuroda. Bouncing ball toward Cano. Lind is retired, but the Blue Jays jump out on front. J.P. Arancibia, his 4th home run of the season, comes on a 3-2 breaking ball, and he hammered it over the wall and left. This series against the Yankees. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a download card for 5 free download songs of your choice at BlueJays.com. For more information, visit BlueJays.com/Music Night. For tickets, call 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com for most Rogers Plus locations. And Geddy Lee of Rush enjoying the ball game tonight. Geddy's a big baseball fan. He and Dave Steve were good pals, and I can remember Geddy Lee putting on a Blue Jays uniform and taking the field down in Dunedin during spring training.
Yep. Brought him out for some batting practice. Doesn't have a bad stroke, if I remember. It was a few years ago.
Rush. They can play the guitar. Steve, too.
Steve. Oh, yeah, Dave. He's an excellent guitarist.
Top of the order, Curtis Granderson. Swings and misses at the 2-0 pitch. It's 2-1. Kyle Drabek's been staked to a 2-0 lead. On the ground, Kelly Johnson to his right, quickly to first, just in time.
Well, Blue Jays have been kicking around a little bit the last week or so, but here's a fine play by Kelly Johnson to his backhand. That's the work that he has been putting in with Ryan Butterfield, his lateral movement both ways, and as he gets closer to the ball, they want him to get a little bit lower to the ground. Fine play right there.
See Butterfield moving the defense around as Nick Swisher steps into the box. There's a curveball. I like that pitch. Even though it wasn't for a strike, it shows the Yankees that he'll throw it.
Yeah, what happens when he starts throwing that over for the first pitch of an at-bat?
Yeah. I even like throwing it back to back because the pitcher has a feel for it immediately. He knows how to make the adjustment. Come right back with it. And you don't have to do it all the time. Another ground ball. Kelly Johnson. Easy play. 2 down.
You're sitting on that bench and you see that starter throwing a couple curveballs early. And you say, uh-oh, he's got a curveball tonight. And it puts one more thing in your mind.
Isn't that silly? You've been on the bench several times. A guy will throw one curveball maybe in 3 or 4 innings. You go, man, he's got a good hook tonight. He's only thrown one.
But that's the perception when you throw it for a strike early in the count.
Robinson Cano to Hopper right to the first baseman. A 1-2-3 third inning after the club gave him a lead. Kyle Drabek needs just 8 pitches to dispatch the Yankees. Bat meets the ball. We have the 3 active hit leaders in baseball. Derek Jeter, 31-44. Omar Vizquel playing shortstop tonight, 28-43. And Alex Rodriguez, 28-13. How about that? The top 3 hitters in baseball active.
Everybody talks about Omar Vizquel and his gold gloves and everything like that. How about he's about 150 hits away from 3,000?
Pretty awesome. And he'll lead things off here in the 3rd. Vizquel making just his 2nd start at shortstop. He's appeared in 9 games.
This was a scheduled off day for Escobar. People were wondering before the ball game, did they give him the off day because he made an error in yesterday's game and all of that? No, he was told yesterday that he was going to have today off. So this was scheduled.
Kind of the same thing with Derek Jeter. Jeter has played all the games this year, either at shortstop or DH, and Joe Girardi says, I just got to rest him. And it's awfully difficult to sit Derek Jeter out of a game, given the fact he's hitting .366 with 56 hits. Leads the league in hits.
He amazes me. He's going to be 38 this year.
Well, he and his manager were teammates.
playing a prime position like shortstop and playing it so well. Makes all the plays.
And I always really kind of chuckle when I hear people say, well, you know, Jeter's not a very good shortstop. Well, you know what? Every time you look around, he's there catching a ball.
You've got to watch him day in and day out. That routine play he makes.
Popped up down the left field line. And Jason Nix gets it in fair territory. One out here in the third. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Brian Dozier looked awfully impressive during the 4-game series while we were in Minnesota. Young shortstop just called up from the minor leagues. Kelly Johnson hit a soft liner to third his first time up. I asked Kelly Johnson about facing Kuroda in the past. He said, you know, he always had a scouting report that suggested 95, but when you stepped into the box, it just didn't play like 95. Just like it wasn't overpowering. He said, but he's got a wide assortment of pitches, and they have faced each other a bit. Now they've faced each other 12 at bats. Kelly is 4 for 12 against Kuroda.
We face guys where we say, oh, okay, it's 92, but it seems like 95. Just the opposite.
It's really interesting how that varies from pitcher to pitcher. Mark Teixeira goes to a knee, tosses to Kuroda. 2 down.
That's one thing that this Yankee team has is defense. They can fill it up in the infield.
Mark Teixeira has 4 Gold Gloves. He won a Gold Glove in 2005 and 6, and also 2009 and 10. Defense has been a problem for the Blue Jays. They've committed 37 errors, and you look at the Yankees, they're all about defense. They've got 4 Gold Glovers on the infield. When Jeter starts at shortstop, they've committed just 14 errors. That's the American League low. Well, you see Russell Martin not wasting any time going to that high and in fastball. That's been the book on Eric Thames.
They have a plan, and they'll keep the ball away, but if they need to go to a fastball, it's going to be up.
There's a base hit past diving Teixeira all the way down into the corner. Thames is headed for second with a 2-out double. His 5th double of the season.
He has shown that he can hit the breaking ball. Teams have pounded him in the past, and then he has started to lay off of that and making them come into the strike zone with a breaking ball, and he yanks it right by Mark Teixeira down the right field line. Teixeira with good range. That ball looked like it hit a seam and bounced over his glove.
Jose Bautista struck out on a 3-2 slider his first time up. There's a curveball, catches the outside corner.
Robbie Cano was asking the bench should he stay in his regular position on the right side of the infield. Remember last time he was on the pull side of second base. Look where he is now, with a runner at second base.
So Martin got lucky on that one. He just stuck his glove out and happened to knock it down. That ball had a chance of skipping back to the backstop.
Curveball. He is set up inside. The ball goes outside. And with that type of spin on it, when it hits the dirt, you have no idea which way it's going to go.
Generally, the curveball, because it's more of an overhand spin, will bounce back toward you as a catcher, where the slider will skip away. Bautista just 1 for 9 with 2 outs and runner in scoring position.
one hit came last night. David Price. Two-seam fastball right there from Kuroda. It's inside. He hit one right back through the middle.
Ball skipped in the dirt, and Russell Martin threw it back. Generally, you'd see the umpires exchange that immediately. He showed it to the umpire, and Dan Isonia said, okay, throw it back.
Getting a workout back there on these breaking balls.
Eric Thames with a 2-out double. Blue Jays lead 2-0. J.P. Aronsebia's fourth home run of the season, a 2-run home run in the second. Outside with the fastball, just missed the outside corner. A 2-out walk to Bautista. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet's live coverage. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers app live from your app store. Always a lot of buzz at Rogers Center when the Yankees are in town. A short 2-game series. Edwin Encarnacion singled to shortstop his first time up. Infield hit. Drives this ball deep to center field. Granderson looking up. Home run Encarnacion. A 3-run shot to center.
Wow. Did Edwin Encarnacion ever put a charge into that baseball? Kuroda fell behind 1-0 on a breaking ball and says, okay, I'm going to try and slip a fastball away to Encarnacion. He elevated that fastball, and Edwin hits a line drive into the center field bleachers.
Brett Flory takes a breaking ball for a strike. The Yankees are down 5-0.
This ball got out in a hurry to center field. Line drive seal. Number 13.
Boy, Encarnacion, when he extends his arms and gets full extension, it's tough to keep him in the ballpark. His 13th home run of the season. That ties him with Curtis Granderson for second in the American League behind Josh Hamilton.
Teams don't think that he can hit the ball the other way with authority. They try pitching him away. You see him talking about how that ball just came right back to his barrel or his bat. But we've seen him split that right field time and time again.
Brett Flory strikes out. That's the 4th strikeout for Kuroda, but Encarnacion hits the second home run tonight. A big 3-run home run to center out over the plate, and he hammered it. enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone, our guest of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, always a great place to watch a game. Right on the field, right close to the action, the TD Comfort Zone. Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez grounded out on the first pitch he saw from Drabek. That ended the first inning and into a fielder's choice, 5-4 for the out. Bill Miller is the third base umpire tonight. He was the umpire at home plate that threw out Brett Lawrie in the 9th inning of that game last night. I haven't noticed if they've conversed during the course of the game or not.
I think that's the closest they've been to each other tonight. It's a couple of steps away.
He cut that fastball inside that time. He cut the inside corner.
Yeah, you usually think you're going to get from a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter a cutter away, but this is called the front door. You go inside, try to freeze that right-handed batter, and that is right on the corner. Strike 3, the third time that Drabek has struck out a batter tonight.
Mark Teixeira was retired on a comebacker to the mound. Teixeira made a comment after seeing Drabek in the spring. He said that is first-class stuff. He said 96 with movement. And Drabek is in that groove again tonight.
You know what he's learning to do, Kyle Drabek? He's learning to make X's on both sides of the plate. Cut the ball into righties and then two-seam them on the inside. It's almost like you're making X's with the pitches. When he has the ability to go outside and do the same thing, that's when he's going to really take the next step.
Good movement on that pitch, and Teixeira swung right over the top of it. It's 2-2. Up the middle. Omar Vizquel waits on it, throws out Teixeira.
Off the end of the bat, looks like another two-seamer. Watch Drabek try and kick the ball to one of his fielders, and he does. He slows it down just enough for Omar Vizquel to get over and make the play. No way to help out your infielder, slowing that ball down.
1-6-3 on the putout. Raul Ibanez was hit by a pitch his first time up. Boy, that cutter is good for Drabek right now.
He's controlling it. He's not trying to overthrow it. He's just controlling it in the strike zone and letting the action of the ball get the hitters out.
There's a curveball. That one missed downstairs. The appeal down to Bill Miller is denied, but Drabek was wondering where the pitch was.
Like it had a chance to maybe cut one of the corners.
Past Kelly Johnson into right field. Bautista came up looking at Ibanez, thinking he might have a shot to go to first, but Ibanez was hustling down the line.
Ibanez has been hot. This time he picks on a fastball and gets it by Kelly Johnson. I thought that would have been a good time to throw one of those BP fastballs right there. Just sink the ball down and away and get Ibanez, who was geared for that fastball, 3-1. Just throw that little sinking two-seamer and you get about a 5-hopper to the second baseman.
Eric Chavez goes after the first pitch. It's a tough pitch for a young pitcher to throw, because young pitchers have the thought that you got to be perfect to get out big league hitters, and that's not the case. We all know that, but of course we have the experience of watching a lot of baseball games over the years, and having both played, you know that if you make good pitches with movement and change speeds, you're going to be successful.
Greg Maddox did it for how many years, and he didn't throw that hard. One thing that you want to worry about with a young hitter, or excuse me, a young pitcher, Kyle Drabeck's got a good release point right now. You don't want to mess up with that. Also,
foul right off the leg of Chavez.
When you slow your arm down just a little bit to throw that little sinking fastball, that BP fastball, if you will, maybe his arm slot changes a little bit.
Well, I think it's just a matter of understanding how you change your finger pressure. You just don't grip it as tightly. You just loosen it up, and the ball comes out about 85% effort. But that's something you gain with experience. One and two, 2 outs. Nobody threw it as well when I was catching as Dave Stieb. Dave Stieb had that loose arm, and he could flip up that 75% fastball better than anybody I've ever seen.
And as a hitter, when you're geared for that 93 and he throws it about 82, you're out in front.
Yeah. And you know, everybody knew Steve had a great moving fastball, a wicked slider, so he could get behind a batter 2-1, and I wouldn't even have a sign for it. I just knew he was going to throw it and just come up there and die right at the plate, about 84 miles an hour.
And you go whoop, right over the top of it,
or hit it back to the mound on.
Yeah. And
12 hops.
Take the bat and just break it over your knee.
There's a broken back grounder up the middle. Vizquel behind second. Yankees leave a base runner. Bottom of the fourth, Colby Rasmussen and J.P. Arancibia. 2-run homer his first time up, and Adam Lind. You can allow thousands of kids across Canada to play baseball through Jays Care. This Saturday, bring any gently used baseball equipment or monetary donations to gate 3, 5, 10, and 13 pregame. Help kids in need this summer. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. Great opportunity to help out some kids and give them some baseball equipment. Colby Erasmus goes after the first pitch and grounds up to Robbie Cano. So that'll bring J.P. Arancibia to the plate. Arancibia, his first time up in a long 2-run home run over the wall in left.
Average up to 230. The production also up 18 RBIs. For JP, and even 100 at bats now.
Hiroki Kuroda has had trouble on the road this year coming into this game. He's 0-3 with a 4.32 ERA. Kuroda, as big league hitters are getting more familiar with him, has given up more home runs each year. This year he's up to 1.26 home runs per 9 innings.
You might see that jump now coming from the Los Angeles Dodgers in a big ballpark like Dodger Stadium to Yankee Stadium in the American League East. That is a homer heaven, if you will, Yankee Stadium.
This is his 19th career start against American League teams, and the 2 home runs tonight has pushed his home run total allowed up to 17. Missed with that fastball.
Dodger Stadium's a pitcher's ballpark. Wide open, ball doesn't carry.
And Sevilla shoots this in there right. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Swisher plays it off the wall. Here's the throw to second. Not in time. Well, Aaron Sevilla had a big hit in Minnesota against Matt Capps to right field. And he stays on this outside pitch and drilled it to right.
He's learning how to hit the ball the other way. Watch how he stays upright and stays on top of that ball. The front shoulder doesn't dip and he goes under it. He stays on top of it, drives it to right field. And the infielders, the middle infielders for the Yankees, trying to decoy J.P. Sevilla as that ball's behind him. Decoying by just standing there thinking that there's no play at the bag, and then the ball's on its way and they try and swipe tag him.
Second extra base hit of the night for Aaron Sevilla. That's his 6th double of the season. Adam Lind goes after the first pitch and lifts it into left. Raul Ibanez is there, and Lind's retired. Adam Lind is 0 for 2 tonight. Number 9 hitter is Omar Vizquel. Vizquel all spring long swung the bat very well from the left side of the plate.
If he gets a hit into the outfield, hopefully for the Blue Jays' sake, it makes the outfielders have to move left or right. They have shortened up against Omar with a runner at second base. So J.P. Sevilla is going to have to get a good secondary lead if there is a base hit into the outfield.
Vizquel slaps it foul. Both Ibanez and Granderson are really shallow. Swisher to the pull side for Vizquel is deep, but look at how shallow Ibanez, the left fielder, is, and Granderson, the center fielder.
So you hope a base hit makes them move one way or another. That'll give Aaron Sevilla a chance to score. Ball right at him. I think they're going to have to hold him up.
Ball in the dirt. Martin keeps it in front. Isn't it funny how the game has changed so much, where the defenders are all now looking into the dugout for instructions? Years ago, ball players had to pay attention themselves.
Meaning you had to make mental notes, and you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, you'd go into a meeting and they say, Pat, we want you to play this guy to pull, that guy opposite, this guy shallow, that guy deep, and you'd have to make all these notes and then pay attention during the game.
Try to remember. And the coaches would help you somewhat. Nothing like they're doing now. Now they've got charts and they've got, booklets that they bring out onto the bench, and they go through it, thumb through it, who's pitching, how hard he throws, and then they set the defense accordingly.
Up and away, it's a full count.
I used to rely on catchers because they're always the smartest guys, right?
They're the ones that have to know how to pitch the guys.
So I just look into the catcher and I go, throw my 2 hands up and go, how's this?
Yeah. Upstairs, Vizquel has issued the 2-out walk. That'll turn the lineup over back to the top of the order. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, former manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, and his second year as the pitching coach here with the Yankees. We're going to have a chat with Hiroki Kuroda.
Maybe give him a little bit of a breather, walking the number 9 hitter with 2 outs, turning the lineup over. Now you've got a guy in Kelly Johnson who is familiar with Kuroda and who's got some extra base power.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Lots of fans here at Rogers Center enjoying a 5-0 Blue Jay lead. Kelly Johnson has lined out and grounded out. Ball in the dirt. Blue Jays done a great job hitting with runners in scoring position. When you look at their team average, it's just at 240, and then you look at the runners in scoring position right at 300. Tonight they're 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Johnson has another at bat here. Breaking ball is pulled foul.
That, the ability to hit with runners in scoring position, the home runs that they've hit this year, and the double plays that they have turned, I think have been the big parts of what they have done this year to have a record, a game over 500.
Considering how poorly they have played on defense lately, they've committed 12 errors in their last 8 games. Bouncing ball through the left side. That's a base hit. Arancibia is being waved home. Here's the throw from Ibanez. Not in time. Arancibia with a good slide, and he swiped his hand across home plate.
Kelly Johnson's going to drive in his 20th run with a good piece of hitting. Sinker down and away. Doesn't try and pull it, just shoot it the other way. And again, J.P. Arancibia with a good secondary lead. Here comes the throw, and he knows about catchers blocking the plate. How do you get around them? Well, you go around them with a head-first slide and then sneak that left arm in right there to score the 6th run of the night for the Blue Jays.
Beautiful slide, and he gets his left hand right in the middle of home plate. Eric Thames with 2 runners in scoring position. Big swing on a fastball. Arancibia's had quite a night. 2 for 2. A couple extra base hits. He's driven in 2. Now he's scored 2 runs. Vizquel's at third. Johnson at second. Eric Thames did a terrific job of playing base coach with Arancibia coming home. He was really emphatic with that slide to the outside motion.
Yeah, you get a sense as a runner that there's going to be a play at the plate. You just get a little bit of help from that on-deck circle man. He was emphatic, wasn't he? Get down.
Throw was right on the money, but just a bit late. Nothing Blue Jays. The Blue Jays over the last 10 games have really had a bad stretch. They've walked too many. They've committed too many errors. It just looked like they were a little bit distracted, and I think that kind of got to John Farrell. I think he has the mindset, hey, you got to forget about the past. Let's get back to what we do best. Pound the strike zone, field the ball cleanly, and get clutch hits. Thames strikes out on a high fastball. The Blue Jays score another. They take a 6-0 lead. Now it's time for an update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. at a quote from Ken Rosenthal of FoxSports.com in regards to Travis d'Arnaud. And I quote, a scout raves about Travis d'Arnaud, saying he looks like Russell Martin in his Dodger days. He could play up there right now in the majors. And that's high praise. When Russell Martin was young with the Dodgers, he could do a lot of things to help you win ball games.
He could hit for power, steal bases, knock in runs, play great defense. Had an injury, I believe a knee injury, that slowed down the running game, that part of his game. I thought he was the best catcher in the National League at that time.
Martin had a 19 home run season in 2007, drove in 87 runs, and boy, that's big production from behind the plate.
Didn't he steal 20 bases one season? Russell Martin, didn't he have a 20 stolen base season? Or?
Yeah, he stole 21 bases that same year. 21 of 30. So I think that's a very valid comparison, having watched d'Arnaud. Obviously, d'Arnaud has not performed at the big league level, but Travis d'Arnaud is 23 years old.
Every scout that I have talked to that has watched Travis d'Arnaud play say he'll be a big leaguer and he'll hit in the big leagues. Right now, just a little bit behind defensively as a catcher.
Russell Martin came to the Dodgers at 23 years old. Bouncing ball. Vizquel takes his time on the money. Martin's retired. That's pretty good when you can go to your bench and call upon a backup shortstop and put in an 11-time Gold Glover.
Knows how to play, where to play, plays counts, moves around the infield. He's got a wealth of knowledge that a lot of the young players can gravitate to and learn a little something about the game.
First pitch curveball misses. Yunel Escobar gets the night off. But boy, oh boy, if I were Yunel Escobar, I would wear out Omar Vizquel.
He's starting to do that in batting practice. Omar was noticing a few things about Yunel, about how he was turning a double play. When he was catching the ball and then throwing it, he was telling him that your head was not up all the way where it should be. Yunel picked up on that, started throwing the ball in right on target to that second baseman.
There's a strike. It's 2-1 to the number 9 hitter, Jason Nix. A little more atmosphere in the ballpark tonight. The Yankees are in town for a 2-game series. Nix cues it off the end of the bat. The Yankees are here for 2, and then the New York Mets will follow them for a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3-game series. The first interleague series of the season. Into shallow right field. Bautista calls for it. Second out of the inning. Mentioned the last 10 games, and this is truly the beauty of baseball. You can go through a stretch like this, 3-7, they get too many walks, make too many errors, and give up too many unearned runs, and hit just 228. But because you play every single night, you can erase this stretch in a heartbeat. And I think that's what the team did tonight. Boy, they were a little bit more focused than BP. You could see the crisp attack by Kyle Drabek tonight, and you can really turn your club around. And, you know, that's why baseball is so much different than any other sport. You get a chance every single night to right your mistakes.
They had a team meeting after batting practice to talk about that. Say, hey, guys, let's go. Let's pick it up a notch. Let's forget about these last 10 games. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Get out there and let's play some hard-nosed competitive baseball.
There's a good curveball that Granderson fouls back. It's so easy to feel sorry for yourself. You go out, and things don't go your way. You kick it around. You make 4 errors in a ball game. Bad calls go against you, and you say, "Well, everybody's against us." And you know what? Everybody's got the same problems.
Yep.
Look at the Yankees. They've got 11 different guys have been on the disabled list, and currently they're without Mariano Rivera, Jabba Chamberlain, Brett Gardner, Michael Pineda, and David Robertson. That's a lot of key guys off your roster. Greenett with the comebacker takes his time. Anderson's retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for Drabek. MasterCard Memorial Cup from Shawinigan, Quebec. Catch all the action on Sportsnet. Junior hockey at its best in the opening game. It'll be the Edmonton Oil Kings against the Shawinigan Red. What a great event, the Memorial Cup. It'll all start right on Friday night here on Sportsnet. Jose Bautista will start things off for the Blue Jays here in the 5th. Just outside. Bautista walked and scored in his last at bat.
He's going to have to hit one through or over the shift that they are throwing on there now.
It's interesting. This is a different shift than we saw last time, but Cano is now on the third base side of second.
Look at Curtis Granderson in center field. It's almost in left center.
Kansas City Royals played this kind of defense against Bautista. They had the two outfielders really playing around to pull. Defend that.
Well, that's what I meant. You got to hit it through it or over it. And Jose Bautista chooses to hit it over the shift. Looked like another pitch that he was going to try and throw inside the Bautista. Maybe a two-seam fastball to bounce him off the plate. But he doesn't get in there far enough, and this is a laser to left field. Home run number 9 for Jose Bautista, RBI number 20.
3 home runs tonight, and this is a no-doubter. With that, Bautista is back on the leaderboard in home runs. He's tied with J.J. Hardy and Josh Reddick at 9. Just a reminder, back in 2010 when Bautista hit 54 home runs, he had just 4 homers in April and then 4 home runs in June.
And the other months he got off, got crazy. And he's capable of doing that, just getting in one of those hot streaks where he's knocking the ball out of the ballpark. The team just jumps on his back and he carries them offensively.
There's got to be a dent in that bat when you hit it that hard.
A dent in the ball.
Carnacion gets out in front of it and pops it high into center. Granderson with a long run calls for it and makes the catch. That's the first out of the inning. Edwin Encarnacion has 13 home runs now. This time a year ago, he had a donut. 0 home runs. He didn't hit his first home run until May 29th.
2 more weeks. Almost 2 more weeks from today that he hit his first one.
Brett Laurie, first pitch curveball he takes for a strike. Joe Girardi knows that his team is really hamstrung. They have to hit home runs to win ball games, and tonight they haven't been able to solve Kyle Drabek at all. Brett Laurie will quietly pack the lumber back to the dugout after being called out. Breaking ball gets him. He strikes out for a second time tonight.
He is seeing more breaking balls and more pitches away from him on the outside corner. That's where the Yankees have worked him all night. And that's where Kuroda goes to get the strikeout. Breaking ball away from Brett Laurie. All you have to do is take some of those pitches and rifle them in the right field, and then they'll switch back.
Curveball strike. Jose Bautista, with his 9th home run, has now recorded 122 career home runs in a Blue Jay uniform. This is a fly ball to left. Rasmus is retired, but the Blue Jays add on 3 home runs tonight. This home run for Bautista ties him with Jose Cruz Jr. for 9th all-time as a Blue Jay. The Yankees, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the New York Mets will be here for interleague play. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. And the Big Apple comes to Toronto with both New York teams for the next 4 games. Kyle Drabek is shutting down the Yankees on 1 hit. The Blue Jays are just 4-10 against American League East teams this season. Drabick has pitched well in this ballpark all year long. Coming into this game, he had a 2-1 record with a 1.93 ERA, and he allowed only 1 home run here in this ballpark compared to 5 on the road.
He's got that two-seamer working exceptionally well tonight. He's had a lot of the Yankee batters swing right over the top of it, throwing it in the strike zone and keeping it down.
Ball on the strike to Nick Swisher. And got away from him. Three and one. Bench just 1 hit through 5 innings. He's walked a couple and struck out 3. On the ground, Kelly Johnson to his right takes his time, and Swisher's retired. They mentioned the AL East, and this season against the East, the Orioles have the best record, 13-7. Tampa Bay is 10-18. Yankees just 2 games over. Red Sox and the Blue Jays had a tough time so far, but how about the Red Sox? 2 good games back to back. Lester and Beckett. They're starting to show signs they're breaking out of it. But Joe Girardi and John Farrell knows you got to come every night with your A game when you're going to play in the East.
Yeah, even the teams who are at the bottom are really good teams. You got the Red Sox at 17-19. They've won 5 in a row. Blue Jays a game over 500. Baltimore leads, like you said, they're tied with Tampa. They've gotten off to a great start. 4 of the 5 teams over 500 American League East.
Kevin Youkilis of the Red Sox was to serve as the DH tonight in AAA Pawtucket. They hope to get him 3 at bats and get him back on the active roster soon. Sharply hit past Encarnacion. It goes all the way down the right field line. Bautista plays it off the wall, and it's going to be late as Cano rips a double. A 1-out double, his 14th of the season. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Robinson Cano with that double has just collected his 300th career double, and the ball was removed from play, as Cano will have that as a souvenir.
And he ties Roy White with 300 doubles for 15th place on the Yankees all-time list now.
The ball came back to the infield. Brett Laurie throws the ball to Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, who throws it to the Yankee dugout. Tony Pena, the bench coach, will put that away for Robinson Cano. Alex Rodriguez, little fly ball into center. Colby Rasmus stays with it. That ball was fighting to get down in front of Rasmus, but he stayed with it.
Yeah, he thought it was hit a little bit harder, and then judged that it was dying quickly and can come in and make that catch. Watch the ball. It wasn't hit that hard, but from Colby Rasmus, his vantage point, it looked like A-Rod hit it harder. He makes the adjustment. Look at that. Turns, comes in and catches it about knee high.
Colby Rasmus isn't flashy, but boy, does he cover ground. A lot of times you don't really appreciate how far he runs because he's so smooth. 2 outs. Mark Teixeira takes one downstairs. Top of the 6th inning, Blue Jays with a 7-0 lead over the Yankees. Blue Jays were 7-11 against New York last season. It's an area where they have to improve upon, obviously, if they hope to move up in the division. Got to play better against the East.
Yeah, and the big boys of the East also. Tampa, they've had the trouble with them in the past, and the Yankees. And right now, Drabek is trying to get Teixeira to fish for that sinking fastball, and he's not going to have anything to do with it.
Well, the Yankees will make you throw strikes. They're very patient.
If you make pitches against this lineup, you can get them out. And that's what Drabek has done tonight. He has used his two-seamer. He has used a very good cutter. And
on the ground, wicked hop right over the glove of Encarnacion. Cano comes around to score, and Mark Teixeira has put the Yankees on the board. A bad hop single, boy, that hit the edge of the artificial turf and shot right over Encarnacion.
And that was going to be the 3rd out of the inning, but instead it ends up being another milestone hit for a Yankee.
A 1500th hit in Teixeira's career, and looked like Encarnacion was going to have a play on it, and then it bounces right over his head as it hit the edge of that dirt.
I mean, right at him, and it hit it went from the turf to the dirt and just ricocheted right over Encarnacion. So that one will go into the trophy case, and the Yankees are on the board.
7-1 Blue Jays. 3rd hit for New York. Raul Ibanez. Two and 0. See, they're marking the baseball date and a pitcher and a hit. Number 1500 for Mark Teixeira in his career. Robinson Cano with his 300th career double this inning.
A couple other milestones that the Yankees have that they could possibly make in this series.
Alex Rodriguez is 2 doubles shy of 500. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Ball deep to left. Eric Thames in front of the warning track, stays with it and makes the catch. The Yankees are finished in the 6th. Drabek gives up a run, but he's got a comfortable lead. 20,000 fans that enter the ballpark. It's the first of 3 collectible bobbleheads this year. Ricky Romero and Yunel Escobar will also have bobblehead giveaways. Escobar's will be on Sunday, June 3rd versus the Boston Red Sox, and Ricky Romero's will be given away against the Texas Rangers on August 19th. So Brandon Morrow, Ricky Romero, Yunel Escobar, their bobbleheads will all be given away this season. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. They should have a J.P. Arancibia bobblehead going after the way he's played tonight. Homered, doubled, scored 2, drove in 2, and then Hughes went off the end of the bat.
Needs a new bat.
Arancibia has got power to all parts of the field. 2 of those 5 hits to right were really on tough pitches. The double here tonight, and then he had a single in the 9th inning against Matt Capps in Minnesota.
He, like his buddy Brett Laurie, seeing a lot more breaking balls away. Pitchers staying away from him, so he's going to have to learn to hit the ball the other way to make those pitchers come back towards the middle of the plate.
The last pitch was 100 for the Yankees starter. How about a 3-hit night for J.P. Arancibia?
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So Arancibia's 3rd hit of the night will knock Hiroki Kuroda out of this ballgame. Kuroda will leave trailing 7-1. And the left-hander Clay Rapata will come on to face Adam Lind when we come back. The man on here in the 6th inning, making his 18th appearance of the season.
Yankees have a couple of lefties in the pen. This is one of them right here. Rapata, he throws from the 3/4 angle, and he sweeps that breaking ball to left-handers. There are the numbers. You can see why he is so good against left-handed batters. 192 average. Righties hitting 333 again. From the side, he'll break that back, throw that breaking ball down and away to the right-handers.
Adam Lind takes a first pitch strike on that breaking ball.
Lind has faced Rapata 4 times and has 1 hit against Clay Rapata. That 1 hit, home run.
Pops this one up over near the Blue Jays dugout and back out of play. Rapata has pitched for the Cubs, the Tigers, Texas, Baltimore, and now the Yankees. Left-handed specialist will always have an opportunity. He is tough on lefties, and that crossfire breaking ball has always given hitters fits.
Even when you're released from other organizations like Rapata has been.
And that's his bread and butter right there. That big sweeping breaking ball away from Adam Lynn.
Yeah, he starts it right at the left-handed hitter when he drops down. It's almost like he's thrown across his body. Starts that breaking ball at the hitter and then sweeps it across the outside part of the plate. You've got to really stay back and just try and hit that ball the other way.
First out of the inning. Omar Vizquel batting as a right-handed hitter for the first time tonight. If you're just joining us, Omar Vizquel is starting at shortstop. Yunel Escobar was given a scheduled day off. Ron Farrell wants to make sure he keeps Escobar as fresh as possible. On the ground. Nix to Cano. Back to first in time, and Rapata does a good job. A strikeout and a double play that ends the 6th inning. And that's exactly what he's gotten tonight.
Got a good two-seam fastball. He's only had 3 strikeouts, but he has made pitches when he has had to. He has cut the ball in on A-Rod. He's moved the ball out around the plate. He hasn't made a whole lot of mistakes today where the Yankee batters have felt comfortable. And I guess that's one thing you can say about Kyle Drabek. He has made the Yankee hitters look uncomfortable tonight with his good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what he can do when he throws the ball in the strike zone. He's got great movement, an explosive cut fastball, and the movement on his sinker has really served him well here tonight. So it'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order. Chavez, Martin, and Jason Nix. Robinson, Cano, Andrew Jones having a little fun on the bench. Oh, 0-2. Boy, that first pitch curveball for a strike to Chavez changes the entire at bat. Don't have to throw many just to put that extra pitch in the hitter's mind.
And now Chavez is sitting up there. Okay, is he going to come back with that curveball here? That one a little bit harder. Yes, sir.
With 1 out in the 7th, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Andy Dirks has a couple of hits in that ball game. His average is .367. He's doing a good job for Detroit. Rick Porcello has given up 6 runs on 6 hits so far in that ball game, and he's out of the game. Wayne Bello is in. Russell Martin with 1 out. Boy, Nick Blackburn got hit hard again tonight. 2 innings, 6 hits, 6 earnings.
Pitched well against the Blue Jays, didn't he, back up in Minnesota?
Good start, but not so good tonight. He was done after 2. Russell Martin will take a 1-out walk. Blackburn was pitching okay until the 6th inning, and then Jose Bautista did his 2nd home run of the game. Eric Thames hit a 2-run home run, and that knocked him out of the game, and the Twins were able to hold on. Jason Nix takes one outside. J. Pierre Nsebe will go out to the mound. Drabek has thrown 99 pitches to this point, but I don't get any feeling at all that he's run out of gas. He's had great life on his fastball all night long.
Facing the bottom of the lineup. You walk the number 8 hitter. Now what you want to do is just make a pitch here. And he's had such good movement on both of his cutter and his 2-seater that he can get the ball on the ground and get out of here with 1 pitch.
Missed outside. 2-0.
Don't force it now. This is where you got to take a deep breath and just make that pitch.
This is where the veteran would throw that BP fastball you're talking about. Just something that Nix can put in play. Three and 0. 7 straight balls thrown by Kyle Drabek. But the bottom part of the order, the Yankees.
8 and 9. So you got to come all the way back right here.
That's a start.
Knowing that the Yankees needed some base runners, Nix might be taking another one right here.
Pulls it wide of third. Left-hander Luis Perez starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. John Farrell likes to keep his starters around 100 pitches. They like to extend them, especially early in the season with younger guys. He said, you know what, we got a young staff. I don't want them to be taxed early in the season.
It's a long season. Save some of those bullets.
Back-to-back 1-out walks here in the 7th.
You can just see him wanting to try and finish this, so he's getting ahead of himself just a little bit, trying just a little bit too hard, and now the ball's just falling out of the strike zone. And that's probably the message that Bruce Walton is going to convey to Kyle Drabek. Slow things down just a little bit.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Kyle Drabek with a visit from the pitching coach, Bruce Walton. And Drabek looking around to make sure who has the coverage at second on a comebacker. First and second, back to the top of the order in the dangerous Curtis Granderson. Granderson's 0 for 3 so far tonight.
There you go. Granderson's in a nice little groove also. He's homered in consecutive games. And so far tonight, that sinking fastball has given him trouble.
Interesting how that first pitch he was nice and smooth and threw a moving fastball for a strike, and then he just won a little bit harder.
A little bit more. The head pulled out of there, and the ball went out of the strike zone.
Bounced that changeup in the dirt. Looked like it might have hit the umpire. Curtis Granderson, we mentioned his home run total this season, 13. Well, the last 2 seasons, he is the leader in home runs in the big leagues. 54 home runs combined between the 2011 and 2012 season. Jose Bautista is just 2 behind him. Matt Kemp, who just recently went on the disabled list for the Dodgers, he was 3rd on that list. On the ground. Vizquel goes to second, and they call him out at second. Jason Nix. I don't know if that was the design play, because Johnson was playing so far to the pull side that he could barely get there. Nix didn't think he got there in time.
They would have had a better chance if they went to third base, an easier chance. But you're right. You can see Vizquel giving the ball to Johnson, and I think the Blue Jays caught a break. Kelly Johnson was pulled way around at second base, respecting the pull side of Curtis Granderson. So he had a long way to go. And that right there will tell you that Nix got in there before Johnson got there.
Yeah, he sure did. He beat it easily. Joe Girardi is going to lose another argument. But C.B. Buckner gave the Blue Jays a break right there. That would have been bases loaded and 1 out, but Nix was called out at second. Nick Swisher with runners at the corners. Swisher's grounded to second 3 times tonight. Russell Martin's at third. Curtis Granderson at first. Drabek has now thrown a season high in pitches. That's 110.
The difference? In his last start, he threw 109. He only pitched 4 1/3. Tonight, he's trying to get 2-7.
And you know John Farrell wants him to walk off the field with 7 complete innings.
Feel good about yourself against a very good hitting team. Plus, a young pitcher getting out of trouble can go a long way to his development.
There's another strike that evens the count at 2-2. Joe Girardi can't believe that call went against him at second.
I think somebody from inside told him that he was safe, who was watching the game inside the clubhouse when he got back to the bench.
Yankees would have had the bases loaded and just 1 out. Strike 3 call. Nick Swisher caught looking at an outside fastball. The Yankees strand 2 more. They've stranded 7 tonight. Kyle Drabek completes 7 innings. Sportsnet, the St. Louis Cardinals will be in San Francisco to take on the Giants. It'll be on Sportsnet West and Pacific right after our ball game. John Farrell shakes Kyle Drabek for a job well done. 7 innings, and he leaves with a 7-1 lead.
I like how he walked a couple of guys that last inning and then was able to get out of it with a strikeout and force out. Something to be said for a young pitcher getting out of trouble.
You want to walk off the field with your team, whether it's the end of the inning or the end of the ball game, but there's nothing quite as bad as walking off by yourself, and you just want to walk off at the end of an inning. Kelly Johnson, high and deep and gone.
In 2009 and 2010, the Blue Jays hit 55 home runs against the Yankees, the most in the major leagues. Last year, they didn't get that many, just 12, 8 fewer than any other AL East team. Well, they're back at it. This is home run number 4 on the night by the Blue Jays against the Yankees. Kelly Johnson with his 8th into the bullpen.
His 8th and his 100th career home run. So Kelly Johnson with a milestone long ball. And his 3rd of the season against lefty pitching. You think anybody enjoys a teammate's success as much as Brett Lawrie?
He is up there on the top step for everything that goes on.
Thames reaches for it and pops it to left. Ibanez in fair ground makes the catch. But Kelly Johnson, boy, what a bonus he has been to this ball club. Came over to the club late last year and has taken over every day at second and provided some pop at the top of the order. Come back, he'll be facing the right-handed reliever. Hiroki Kuroda, who started this game for the Yankees, goes 5+ a batter. He gave up 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, and he gave up 3 home runs to 101 pitches, and he is the pitcher of record tonight for the Yankees.
Aaron Sebia, Encarnacion, and Jose Bautista reaching for home runs. So the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Yankees is Cody Epley, just called up from minor leagues. That was AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre prior to yesterday's loss at Baltimore. Taking over into that bullpen, he's a sidewinder, 4-seam fastball, left-handed batters, he'll throw change-ups to the lefties. But against the righties, he's going to come from down under with a synchronous slider.
Epley was claimed off waivers by the Yankees from the Texas Rangers on the 5th of April this season. Jose Bautista with a long home run his last time up. ESPN has what they call the home run tracker. Then they clock home runs and the speed off the bat. Bautista's home run was clocked at 117.5 miles an hour.
Is that good?
That's the fastest home run this year.
Wow.
And this is what it looks like.
It doesn't take very long to leave the ballpark into the second deck. I thought that Edwin Encarnacion's had a shot, the one he hit to dead center field tonight. That got out of here pretty quickly.
Down and away, it's 3-1. Epley's 6'5", he's 26 years old, and Joe Girardi's called upon him here to try to keep things respectable. The Yankees are down by 7.
You mentioned he pitched for the Texas Rangers. He learned the side arming style from Darren O'Day with little help from the pitching coach Mike Maddox. Just a little deception. Make it a little bit harder on those right-handers.
Bouncing ball towards short. Jason Nix takes his time. Bautista's retired. 2 down. Well, you talk about a dramatic turnaround. I mentioned in the last 10 games, the Blue Jays had gone 3-7. They committed 15 errors, gave up 8 unearned runs. Tonight, they've hit 4 home runs. Drabek has held the Yankees to a single run on 3 hits, and the Blue Jays have caught everything cleanly tonight. The beauty of a 162 game season.
That's why you can't get down. You got to stay up. You got to come and compete every single day.
There's a shot into left off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion. His 3rd hit of the night.
Problem with side arming pitchers is if the ball doesn't get down, it's right in the happy zone, right in the hitting zone of those hitters, and Edwin Encarnacion loves it. He now has 3 hits.
Bumped his average 13 points tonight with those 3 hits. Brett Lawrie looking for his first hit. The Blue Jays now have 10 hits. 4 of those hits have left the yard. Ball on the strike. There's that breaking ball that Epley started right at the hip of Brett Lawrie.
Can't give up on it. Got that frisbee type slider that will break late.
Lawrie reaches for it. Cano bobbles it, and all hands are safe. Boy, Robinson Cano laid back on that ball, and then he got an in-between hop.
You could tell as soon as the ball left the bat that Robinson Cano was not feeling very comfortable trying to field that ball. Just the 2nd error of the season. Watch him come after this. I don't know if the runner, Encarnacion, had anything to do with that, or if he was in between. Should I try and flip it to second or catch it on the short hop? But he will be charged with his 2nd error of the season and keep the inning alive.
The Yankees have played good in the field this year, but tonight everything has gone against them. Toby Erasmus takes a strike. Encarnacion has a 3-hit night. J.P. Arancibia has a 3-hit night. Arancibia just needs a triple for the cycle. Encarnacion has a 3-run home run and 2 singles. Fouls it back. Colby's gone 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded out, and flied out. Two and two.
You know, you watch him swing, and you get the sense that he's going to come out of it and start hitting a lot of balls hard. He looks balanced at the plate. He looks comfortable. The bat looks quick. The swing looks short. It's just a matter of time, I think, before he starts coming around consistently.
It's a piece of that one and stays alive. The Blue Jays have hit 4 home runs tonight. That's the 3rd time this season they've had a 4 home run game. They had one in Minnesota on this most recent road trip. They also hit 4 in a game against Baltimore on April 13th right here in this ballpark. Encarnacion, Arancibia, Bautista, and Kelly Johnson. Full count, 2 outs. The runners at first and second will be off on the pitch. Bounce to the right side. Cannell comes after this one and takes the short off, and that ends the inning. But the Blue Jays get their 4th home run of the night. Kelly Johnson against the left-hander Clay Rapata, number 8. And 100 for his career. He had a good start here tonight. 7 innings, 3 hits, an earned run. He walked 4 and struck out 5. A season high 113 pitches. But Kyle Drabek was in control of this ball game from the first pitch.
Certainly, second time this year that he has thrown 7 innings in a ball game. Just gave up 3 hits to the Yankees. He had a good 2-seam fastball working tonight. His cutter was exploding towards home plate, especially to the left-hander. In on him. Picked up some good strikeouts. I love the strikeout he had against Alex Rodriguez, where he froze him with that front door cutter. If he could pitch like that, he's going to win a lot of ball games.
Left-hander Luis Perez comes on for the 16th time this season. Perez will try to keep it at bay right here. It's an 8-1 Blue Jay lead. It'll be Cano, Rodriguez, and Teixeira to bat for the Yankees in the top of the 8th.
Roy Perez throwing a little bit harder than we saw last year, averaging a strikeout an inning. Left-hander throws a slider. He's got a very good changeup that he has worked on. He's thrown a little bit harder, 93, 94 miles an hour. Last worked a couple of days ago against Tampa, where he had a very clean inning.
Drew Hutchison will go to the mound tomorrow to wrap up this short 2-game series. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Drew Hutchison, 6 innings of 3-hit ball last time out against Minnesota to pick up the win, his second big league win. He'll try to do that again tomorrow night. He'll be matched up against Phil Hughes, the young right-hander for the Yankees. Robinson Cano takes the first pitch for a ball. One and one. Breaking ball was inside, and Cano fouled it off his foot.
Chris started in the minor leagues. He came out of the bullpen last year, and I think he learned a lot about himself. When the Blue Jays put him in the starting rotation last year, and he learned how to pace himself, work out of trouble. And I think the Jays really like him where he is right now. Lefty that can come out of the bullpen, pick up strikeouts, and give you multiple innings. But that time last year starting was very valuable to his development.
Given an opportunity to go out there and use multiple pitches, work both sides of the plate, see what it felt like to pitch when you're a little bit tired. 2-2, and he strikes out Cano. The Blue Jays were really struggling with the bats, but it was a different story tonight. J.P. Arancibia in the second inning, a 2-run home run, his 4th of the season. Edwin Encarnacion with 2 on goes straight away center. And how about this laser beam? Jose Bautista solo shot in the 5th, and just for good measure, Kelly Johnson his 8th of the season. That was Johnson's 100th career home run. A 4-homer night for the Blue Jays.
No cheapies in any of those. Encarnacion's was a bullet to center. Jose's, that was good how he got through that fastball from Toronto.
Now, we mentioned earlier that fastball, according to the ESPN home run tracker, was clocked at 117.5 miles an hour. That is a laser.
Yeah. Second deck.
According to ESPN, that was the fastest home run hit this year. This is the 16th appearance for Perez this season, and he's only allowed runs twice. He gave up a 4 spot against the Mariners, and here he throws a 4-pitch walk to Rodriguez. The only other time he gave up runs came in 1/3 of an inning at Oakland. So other than that, boy, he has come in and slammed the door on the opponents.
Yeah, he has shut down lefties. Also 143 average. He's also in the top 10 in innings pitched for relievers in the American League. Well, that's where those multiple innings become very important.
Mark Teixeira looks at the first pitch ball. Teixeira's single his last time up drove in the only Yankee run. Ball hit there in CB right off the top of the foot. Fans, enjoy the 2012 baseball season with that Bat 12 for your iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android device. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information for every game. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Lots of fans keeping track of the Blue Jays. So many different ways to follow the teams now. Ball on a strike to Mark Teixeira. Off the glove of Arancibia.
Plenty of heat from Luis Perez. Fastball 94 miles an hour. Got good sink to his fastball. I mean, he opened up some eyes in spring training. The first time you saw him, the ball was just jumping out of his hand.
Up and away. That's a full count. I think Perez came into camp very confident. He also knew that competition was stiff. Dan Oliver had been signed in the offseason. He was assured of one position in the bullpen. Evan Crawford threw the ball well this spring. And Perez was out of options. There goes Alex Rodriguez. The ball is fouled out of play. Rodriguez was on the move with one out. This is an important stretch of games for the Blue Jays. Yankees are here for one more tomorrow. Then the New York Mets are in town. Then Blue Jays go down to take on the Rays in Tampa Bay. And then they'll have an off day before taking on the Texas Rangers in Arlington. There goes Rodriguez again, and there's the walk.
You know, and it doesn't stop there. After Texas, they come home and they've got Baltimore and Boston in a homestand. I mean, it's every night you've got to bring it.
And then they'll go to Chicago, take on the White Sox and the Atlanta Braves.
Back in the interleague then?
John Farrell would love for Perez to just finish this game out. He certainly has the arm to do it, and he's well rested, but back-to-back walks after the strikeout of Cano to start the inning.
Well, he's overthrowing just a little bit right now, just trying to throw the ball through the catcher instead of throwing it to a spot. That's why he's flying open and ball's not staying where he wants it to go.
The Jays have walked 4 Yankees here tonight. Now 6 actually. Drabek walked 4 and Perez has walked 2. But you can't encourage the Yankees with base on balls. We mentioned the upcoming schedule for the Blue Jays. The Yankees are here tomorrow night. Then the Mets got a good record at 20-16. And then we all know about Tampa Bay down in that ballpark. Tampa Bay has a great record in their home ballpark. Then into Arlington to take on the Rangers before the Orioles come back to town.
Blue Jays might have caught a little bit of a break. They don't have to face the 1 and 2 of the New York Mets, at least scheduled now. No R.A. Dickey, no Johan Santana. They are not scheduled to throw in that series over the weekend. A knuckleball pitcher like R.A. Dickey can really mess with you.
Yeah, and it can have a lingering effect. Mess up your timing for a few days. Well, Perez throwing a couple of good strikes now, misses badly.
Miguel Batista is going to throw in that series.
How about that? Miguel Batista, 1-1 with a 4.26 ERA. He'll be matched up against Brandon Morrow. That'll be Saturday. A 107 start. Back down the middle. Ibanez couldn't pull the trigger.
94 miles an hour. It looked like Ibanez was sitting on a breaking ball. Perez crosses him up, throws a fastball right there. So now he'll have to deal with the pinch hitter.
The veteran Andrew Jones will come on and pinch hit, hitting for Eric Chavez. Jones batting .231. Goes after the first pitch and lifts it into center. Easy play for Colby Erasmus. Jones is retired on one pitch. And the Blue Jays are out of the eighth. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Seventeenth, 2001. It was Jeff Fry against the Texas Rangers. J.P. Arancibia has 3 legs to the cycle. The home run back into second, a 2-run shot. And then he did a nice job going the other way. He hit this one down into the right field corner for the double, and then the single went right back up the middle. So he's just a triple shy of the cycle.
1 to left, 1 to right, 1 down the middle to center field. So if he's going to get a triple, let's see, probably down the right field line, ball rattle around and maybe kick out of there.
Arancibia has 4 career triples, and he hit them all last year. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Cody Epley in his second inning of relief. It'd be only fitting that Arancibia would finish off the cycle here tonight. We've had a 300th career double by Cano and a 1,500th career hit by Teixeira.
How about a 100th career home run by Kelly Johnson also?
A night of milestones.
All right, how about right center field? Everybody's pulled around the left field.
It's a good guy to hit one to right center. You got to stay on that ball from Epley, who's going to give you that crossfire heater. Laid off that breaking ball. outside.
Good eye right there. A couple of tough pitches from Epley. This is where the good hitters really bear down. They've already had 3 hits. And they say, okay, I've had a good game, but you can have a great game right here. You bear down just a little bit more, and you're just scraping for that 4th hit.
Hits it hard, but foul. Boy, isn't that the truth? The great hitters get 3, they want 4. They get 4, they want 5.
I'm better than Pete Rose was like that. I'm sure Derek Jeter is the same way.
Derek Jeter gets the night off tonight. And Sevilla strikes out on the breaking ball. During the last half inning, Brian Butterfield is talking to the third base umpire Bill Miller, and he was the home plate umpire last night to throw out Brett Lawrie and John Farrell. And you can bet Brian Butterfield's doing a little patchwork down there at third base. Bill Miller is really one of the good guys. I've had a chance to know him over the years working postseason, and it's unfortunate that happened, but again, that's the beauty of baseball. Tonight's a totally different story, and it's something that's in the past.
And you have to think of it that way. You don't want to be carrying that around with you. That's one of the things that Brett Lawrie said to me around the batting cage today is, turn the page, that happened yesterday, today is a new day.
But you can bet that he's going to have to walk the straight and narrow as far as the umpires go.
You see some of the close calls, pitches tonight that were called strikes, nothing.
Yeah.
You just have to just shut it down.
You just can't react. And you and I both know this, no matter how right you are, you're always wrong.
Only one person on that diamond who's right.
Adam Lind 0 for 3 tonight with the strikeout. Brett Lawrie can accept an 0 for 4 a little bit better when his team is winning 8-1. There's a base hit for Lynn. Lynn's aboard with 1 out here in the 8th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Felipe Paulino was on the disabled list when the Blue Jays were in Kansas City. And he's an important part of that rotation. And anybody that shuts out the Orioles these days is doing a heck of a job.
Paulino throws hard, too. They're going to need him with Danny Duffy missing the rest of the season.
Yeah, Duffy is going to undergo Tommy John surgery. Omar Vizquel has gone 0 for 2. It's also walked. Francisco Cordero is ready down in the bullpen. Luis Perez pitched the 8th. Had 2 walks and 2 strikeouts.
I think John Farrell would have let him finish it off if he had an easy inning. You know, maybe a 9 or a 10 pitch inning.
Bouncing ball foul. Well, that's exactly the reason they recalled Evan Crawford from the minors, because you want your left-handers fresh. There's a boatload of left-handers the Blue Jays are going to face in the next few series. So you don't want to burn Luis Perez, keep him for tomorrow night. With 3 left-handers down there, you certainly have a lot of options. You can use one early in the game, middle innings, even late. Pascal bounces it towards second. Cano steps on the bag and throws to first. What a terrific double play by the former Gold Glover. Robinson Cano ends the inning. Francisco Cordero will come on to pitch tonight. In to pitch the ninth, Francisco Cordero. He will follow Luis Perez, who had a scoreless eighth inning. Now Cordero will make his 15th appearance of the season.
Been a rough start for him in his Blue Jay career. See his numbers there in ERA over 8. Righties over 400. Much better last time out. 2 days ago, an inning, he had a hit and a strikeout. John Farrell's going to pitch him now in situations where he can find that command that he has to have. Sinker, slider, curveball. Got to keep the ball down.
Sergio Santos is currently in Dunedin in the Blue Jays spring training complex, and he is just starting a throwing program, so he's probably 3 weeks away at the earliest.
Yeah, that's the numbers that we hear.
Russell Martin hits it on the line. Eric Thames stays with it. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Great Stanley Cup action, and it'll be all broken down later on right after this ball game on Connected. Pinch hitter is Dwayne Wise, a former Blue Jay. Batting for Jason Nix.
Finish up that thought on Sergio Santos. He's, I believe, at 90 feet right now on his throwing program.
This is popped up. Shortstop Vizquel behind the bag at second.
Jays are hoping 3 weeks from now that he will work his way up. You go from 90 to 120 to 150, and then you get onto the mound and air it out a little bit. So they're thinking the timetable, if there's no setbacks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's key phrase, if there's no setbacks. Got to be so careful with these pitchers when you build them back up. Yankees are down to their final out. Curtis Granderson. Granderson has been held hitless tonight. Yankees with just 3 hits. Kyle Drabek, an outstanding start tonight. Oh, and 2. Francisco Cordero. He closes closes out the Yankees in 1-2-3 fashion. The Blue Jays erase the memories of last night with a dramatic 8-1 win here on the strength of 4 Blue Jay home runs.
And great pitching from Drabek. They get 7 innings from the starter. Perez has an inning, couple strikeouts. Cordero, a very clean inning. Home run bats are coming back for the Blue Jays, and they're going to need them.
3rd win of the season for Kyle Drabek. He shuts down the Yankees on just 3 hits over 7 innings. Jose Bautista, his 8th home run. We mentioned the 4th time this year that the Blue Jays have hit 4 home runs. When we come back, we'll wrap it all up.